Hello, welcome to another episode of the Inforunners. Today we're talking about the Eclipse with its release into 3.2 and sort of a general impression to, where the ship is at, and probably also talking about, who the ship is for.
I'm Execute. This is because he forgot who we were.
Totally forgot to
he forgot who we were.
Introduce everyone.
It's all good. Right. This ship, I think it's really good at what it does, but I don't think it does a lot. But you can prove me wrong.
No, you were saying before, it's like a horse with blinders. It's really good at doing the thing that's right in front of it. It's not very good at doing much outside of that. And the other thing is, it is now a $300 ship. My goodness, CIG, who do you want to buy this? Like, only the absolute hardcore of hardcore is going to buy this ship now, or the absolute people who want to be part of a squadron, or the Uber trolls who want to keep trolling people in the PvU until full release, where it's probably not going to make any sense anymore as an economic problem.
It's like a giant neon sign above it that says, "Buy me in game."
Yeah, this is definitely one to buy in game, and people will buy this in game. This ship, I guess I want to talk first is about who is this ship for. At the end of the day, is this a ship as a solo person you buy and go around and you do missions for?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a solo person that's functioning it, but I think the real strength in this ship is if you ran it in numbers, it's kind of like a redundancy. Like if you lose one ship, you've still got other pilots, so you don't lose them in a functioning state.
Well, my thought is this is not a ship that flies alone. You need the whole stealth, and I'm going to let off a torpedo, and they don't know what hit me. That's fine, but outside of that, stealth is not the only thing this ship represents. This represents the largest and like several times higher, like I don't know, 5 to 6 times more payload than a Gladiator, and it's still a carrier-based ship. At the end of the day, it's about the range of the torpedoes, it's about the capacity to deal damage, and the fact that it can be relocated as part of a carrier ship. This is a teamwork ship. This is a ship that you can escort, and people say, oh, but it's flimsy like paper and it can't fight. It doesn't need to. It's not designed to. That's what you have teammates for. That's what you have wingmates for. Those people intercept, the people attacking you before they even get close type of thing. People think only in the I by myself, and, they don't think about the interaction. If people as a large organized group, this will be their bread and butter.
I have a weird analogy to explain this ship. You know when you play those games and they're objective based, like capture the flag or something like that? That's what this ship is. This is the ship that focuses on the objective. It goes in there and it takes out the target and does nothing. While all the other little fighters, they're all about the kills. They're all about getting the stats on the scoreboard. They don't care. This guy's the guy that ends the game. That's what this guy is.
Well, think of it like an MMO. You got your tanks and you got your fighters, and then these people all the front line type thing. This is the guy who sits in the back, and he's the mage. He's the DPS. This is the guy who you move your party forward, and they're taking all the hits, and this guy just gets in just the right bit because the party moves forward enough, and he lets out the nuke. It's like, and he's the one that if once your party has gotten themselves in the right position, he then destroys the boss monster, which is essentially the capital ship. And that's how this ship is going to be used when we go to full release, when you get people in Idris squadrons or just squadron solo. At the end of the day, this is a part of that team, a part of that party makeup.
Now, naturally, people are going to compare this ship because of the torpedo bomber aspect to probably things like, I probably won't go as high as the Polaris, but I'll definitely say the Retaliator and the Gladiator. And let's look at some of the strengths and weaknesses of those ships and this ship against each other. So I think the natural one would be the Retaliator due to the price point. The downside, obviously, you're going to want more people to use that Retaliator effectively. And if you lose it, you're losing 5 people and whatever cargo's on board. This, you don't quite, you lose the whole ship, you're only losing 1 person.
I think they're targeted towards different scenarios there. At the end of the day, the Retaliator, it's I'm not taking much with me, but I need to take out a target. I might have a wingman or 2, but it's not a large force. It's not part of an Idris group that is able to resupply. This is a longer range sort of hitting thing. You take a Retaliator and like a Sentinel and a Vanguard with it for a longer range strike.
I see the Retaliator more of like as a solo ship that is like a core group on that ship, and they're like a lone strike force, where this is more like sending out lone commandos that they report back to base, though, on the Idris or the fleet ship. That's a little bit different, so yeah.
I think depending on the size of your operation and the target, you know, they're used for two sort of different things. So it's like a spanner and a blowtorch. They both do their own thing, and they don't really overlap too much.
Retaliator is Special Ops Group, or Navy SEALs, and this is James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah, got it there, didn't I? Got that one. Yeah.
Yep. But then you got the ships like the Gladiator, and to be honest, I don't think the Retaliator steals any of the Gladiator's win, but the Eclipse sure does.
Definitely. Now, we talked a bit before the show. I think one balancing factor for the Gladiator would possibly be price. But as you state, if people want that ship, they're going to go out of their way to get that Eclipse because it is just so much better again.
The Gladiator makes sense because, like, before full release, it can do a bit of fighting, it can do a bit of torpedo bombing, you can have a bit of fun of both. But, like, when people pick out an Idris squadron, are they going to pick out a Gladiator? I mean, like, on full release, they're going to fit the hardest hitting ship they can get. And it doesn't matter if it's 6 times the price. They will field that. And the Gladiator is just going to sit there as like a starter entry-level torpedo ship. And it's probably where it's going to stay.
And another thing in the Gladiator's favour, obviously, to run at full strength, it needs 2 people. Don't need 2 people for that one. You need 1 for this one.
Oh, you can slave the guns, actually. It works pretty well.
Yep. But to use it full strength, like to shoot backwards, you're going to need a second person. So, and let's be honest, if you're a bomber, that is what that turret is for. It's to trying to keep people off your tail. It's not for extra gunfire for dogfighting. It's to keep people off your tail while you're trying to line up your bombing run. That said, that will be the weakness of this ship. It won't be able to cover its butt, and I think the covering its butt component is the stealth. To me, this ship is not... it's not a fighter. It's basically sneaking like a cheetah. It sneaks as close as it can up to the target, and then strikes like that, and then it's out of dodge. That's it.
That's
it's
where
gone.
I see the Gladiator is more of a solo torpedo bomber. The Eclipse is, yes, you have stealth, and you'll definitely take advantage of that if the situation calls for it. But there'll be plenty of times when you want to torpedo something, and you just want to bring out the big guns. And this ship is just something that, you know, people will form out of squadrons. People will have wingmen. People will intercept, and this thing will, you know, trying to get in position while they keep it safe. This is going to be one of the strongest, like, squadron team-based ships that I can see. And unfortunately, I didn't see a lot of those situations arising until much closer to release.
Yeah. And it's not a day-to-day ship either. It's that thing you're going to get together with your friends on the weekend and do a big team effort. Yeah, organisation, literally, to get things done. Now, would you be in agreement? You are in agreement with me, though, that this is more of an in-game purchase, not really a buy now thing.
For $300, absolutely.
Yeah.
The amount of use case, I think, only the really hardcore private military groups will want to say, we need this Eclipse because we do regular squadron battles, like, you know, in team formations. And we need at least this many to be able to make it work really effectively.
Yeah.
Outside of that, this ship, unless you're an absolute... we've got a friend, Snake, and his line of work literally is...
Yep.
He works on these sort of ships, and, you know, he's just in love with it. So, you know, if you're a bomber, stealth-type bomber, Afriencho airplane engineer, and you're in love with this ship, then you can also buy it for that reason.
We actually had some people last week asking where he was. So, yeah, he's got a new job. I don't think we'll see him again, folks, unfortunately, because of that new job.
Yeah, he's so busy that he doesn't even have time for his org, so that's like...
Aesthetically speaking, how do you find this ship? I find it incredibly sexy. I think it is one of the coolest looking ships in the game. I especially love how it lands. I think it is really cool. Sleek,
beautiful. The second wing space, like, you know, where the wings fold up in for space thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're in space, we're using the atmospheric base configuration. I think that's the only thing I don't like.
No, they actually fold up just purely for landing purposes, so they can fit inside a hangar.
No. There's 3 different wing configurations.
Oh, that's right. There is 2. There's the one where it folds back. I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, now I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
They said they don't have the system in yet, so they can't do it.
Yeah,
But it looks weird having the atmospheric flight wing configuration flying around in space. So, like, yeah, maybe not.
we'll see how they go. But they got a lot of work to do on their flight mechanics now, especially since John's left. So
The cockpit view, people say like it does a huge amount of dash in the thing, like up above. I like it. The expansive views on the side. This is a bomber. It knows what it is. It's not a fighter.
It looks so similar to what the ship was modeled off to. I think it's the B2 bomber is what they call it. And if you look at the cockpit for that, it almost a dead ringer, especially view-wise.
You're not going to be looking at the people who are trying to attack you from some angle there. You want probably the armor to protect you while you're trying to do your bombing mission. It's the people, your wingmen, who is going to be defending you against those people.
And your target's going to be dead out in front a couple of Ks away. It's not going to be below you or anything like that. That said, down the road, could you possibly see this ship doing gravity bombs? As in, like Moabs, sorry?
But as far as I'm... no. I think this is so specialized that they've made this torpedo only.
I think it might give a nod, though, to the Retaliator, that they may now let the Retaliator do Moab.
They'll definitely do gravity-based bombs, but I mean, like, I think other than cost and lessened payload, torpedoes work in atmosphere just fine.
They do.
I mean, at the end of the day, what are you killing in on a planet that's a 9-size torpedo can't kill? It's sort of like that's a pretty big target, and you probably want something very specific for it.
Nice little trailer for this one too, actually. That reminds me of that. They have the Eclipse coming in really low across the ground, and then it lets a bomb off into a facility and blows a bunch of ships up. So, yeah, I can see it doing that. I can see it being that tactical stealth bomber, definitely. Have you got anything to add before we wrap up?
No, I love where the Eclipse is. It's placed well. The question is, with the new price up, who's going to buy this now that doesn't already have it? I'm like, at the end of the day, this is going to be one of the ships you earn in game, but it is a good ship.
You kind of want to recommend it because it's a really good ship, but you can't recommend it because it just costs so damn much. So because it's niche, because it's a niche of a niche, you can't recommend it based on price. But what it does so damn well. So yeah,
that's right.
That's the takeaway from today's episode. I've been Execute. This is Hayes. We have a Discord. Subscribe. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you think about this ship. If you have any other ideas for shows, I've seen a couple of comments in there last week. I'm about to talk to Hayes about that right now. And we shall see you next time.
Catch you around.